Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into an ancient Japanese concept called Ikigai. We've got some incredibly fascinating data and frameworks to look at together, stuff that could literally reshape how you look at your daily calendar. So let's just jump right in with a crucial question. Why do so many of us hit our big professional milestones? Climb the ladder, get that big promotion, only to feel completely burned out and hollow. We get the external success, but we can't quite articulate why the work itself feels so incredibly empty. It's a huge paradox, and coaches and psychologists are seeing it literally everywhere right now. Well, the answer to that very modern emptiness can actually be found in this concept, Ikigai. It's a combination of iki, meaning life, and gai, meaning value or worth. Put simply, Ikigai is all about finding joy through a purpose. It's that undeniable driving force that gets you out of bed every single morning, not because you have to, but because you genuinely want to. What's super fascinating to me is the historical root of the word itself. Gai goes all the way back to the Heian period, which is roughly 794 to 1185, and it comes from the word kai, literally translating to shells. Back then, shells were incredibly valuable currency, so finding your life's worth was equated to discovering something as highly prized and deeply treasured as these ancient shells. It wasn't just a fleeting feeling, it was a profound, tangible value. Here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll look at the search for meaning, then uncover Okinawa's secret to longevity, map out the 4 circles of Ikigai, navigate career transitions, and finally, help you find your own Ikigai. All right, part 1, the search for meaning, and specifically, the 2025 hustle culture crisis. Let's see why this idea is experiencing such a massive resurgence right now. Look around the modern workplace today, and there is a clear shift happening. People are aggressively prioritizing meaning over milestones. We're finally moving away from that toxic hustle culture and realizing we desperately need a steady daily framework to recalibrate our lives. People are embracing hybrid work. They're leaning into slow living. We're seeking a steady daily purpose rather than just exhausting ourselves chasing massive goals. Plus, we're recognizing that Ikigai isn't a static thing. Your purpose naturally morphs and changes as you age, so it requires regular checkups. Moving to part 2, Okinawa's secret to longevity, or as I like to call it, the biology of purpose. To see how powerful this framework truly is, we need to travel to Japan and look at the hard biological data. Okinawa is famous for its incredible ratio of centenarians, people living well past 100. And they don't just live long by accident. They have a powerful combination of daily practices. They maintain a moai, which is a lifelong secure social network providing both financial and emotional support. They eat a plant-based diet packed with nutrients, lots of goya, sweet potatoes, and tofu. They also practice daily gardening, which gives them constant physical activity and stress reduction, and they frequently sit and rise from tatami mats, which builds immense lower body strength. But here's the kicker. They combine all these grounding physical habits with a deep, driving sense of purpose. This really brings the biological connection into focus. In 2017, a TV program followed centenarians in Kyotango from dawn to dusk, actually running blood tests. And what they found was wild. These individuals had exceptionally high levels of DHEA, often called the longevity hormone. The common denominator? Every single one of them practiced a daily hobby they deeply loved. One woman in her late 90s spent hours carving traditional Japanese masks. Another guy painted. Another fished every single day. So having a daily hobby you love might literally boost your youth hormones. How amazing is that? Author Dan Buettner, who wrote all about the blue zones, captures this beautifully. He notes that older Okinawans can readily articulate the exact reason they get up in the morning. For them, purpose isn't some abstract, fluffy corporate mission statement. It is the literal, tangible reason they wake up and engage with the world every single day. This brings us to part 3, the 4 circles of Ikigai and mapping your meaning. So how do we actually map out this kind of profound purpose for ourselves today? Let's walk through the classic Ikigai Venn diagram via 4 essential questions. Step 1, what do you love? Step 2, what are you great at? Step 3 looks outward. What does the world actually need? And step 4 grounds it in reality. What can you be paid for? Your personal Ikigai exists right in the dead center, where all 4 of these elements perfectly overlap. It's that sweet spot where passion, mission, vocation, and profession all meet. And as neuroscientist Ken Mogi points out, this isn't just reserved for high-level corporate jobs. Not at all. He argues that whether you're a mother of a newborn, a Michelin-starred sushi chef, or a cleaner on the famous bullet train, the real magic is in that overlap of your satisfaction and your skill. If you find pleasure in it and you're good at it, congratulations, you've found your Ikigai. Part 4. Navigating career transitions, or what happens when the circles misalign. Because the true diagnostic power of this framework reveals itself when you advance in your career and those 4 beautifully aligned circles start pulling apart. Consider this totally classic tension. The promoted director. Their passion, the stuff they love and are great at, is building the product and getting hands-on with their craft. But because they were great at it, they got promoted. Now their profession, what they're actually paid for, is stakeholder management and hiring. Suddenly, they realize they're well paid for management, but their true love is still the hands-on building they had to leave behind. The circles have drifted apart. Or think about the technical founder. This is a massive identity clash. Their past self is completely defined by technical skills, architecture, coding. But the present need of their growing company is totally different. It's hiring judgment. It's translating engineering into business terms for the board. If a founder stubbornly identifies only with coding under what I am great at, they are tightly holding on to an outdated version of themselves that their company has completely outgrown. I absolutely love this insight from coaching data regarding the dual career executive. Imagine an exec who serves on nonprofit boards or maybe teaches on the side, and they just feel stretched way too thin. The natural assumption is I need to drop the side gigs to focus on my main job. But what if the problem isn't time management at all? What if your unpaid board seat or your side hustle is your true Ikigai, and your high-paying main job is literally just the mechanism funding it? Sometimes the very thing holding your whole picture together is that side role you were planning to cut. Finally, Part 5, Finding Your Own Ikigai with the Diagnostic Test. Let's see how you can run an audit on your own life right now. Try this out to map your current reality. First, jot down the top 10 things you actually spent your time on this week. Then, sort those activities into the 4 circles we talked about. The trick here is to pay close attention to where you hesitate. If one circle fills up super fast and another leaves you sitting there thinking for 5 minutes, that friction is incredibly valuable data. Also, notice any tension between your personal identity and your company's mission. Are your answers truly self-generated, or are you kind of just parroting your employer's latest impact report? I want to leave you with a pretty provocative question. If your organization disappeared tomorrow, not a layoff, I mean the entire company just completely ceased to exist, which of your answers to those 4 circles would still be true? It's an uncomfortable thought for sure, but it brilliantly forces us to ask, how much of our personal identity is simply borrowed from our employer, and how much is genuinely our own Ikigai? Take some time to sit with that question today. Thank you so much for exploring this framework with me.